The following is a presentation of the Noise Space Network. Find more great podcasts at noisespace.xyz. We begin in Southern California 3 decades ago. 2 red souls were brought to this earth, separated by just a scant few miles and unbeknownst to each other. The fates kept them separate as they grew from brass whelps into homosexual young women with hard opinions about cheaply made processed foods. One of them, a black-clad warrior, fighting for metals heavy and corn syrups high fructose. The other, a living embodiment of no-calorie soda, literally begging the gods to strike her down where she stands, or at least strike her with a cease and desist order. Now, the world has united these two to clash over their cheap foodstuffs, and we meet them here, the battlefield, where they are destined for eternal combat. Ladies and ghouls, it is my pleasure to welcome you to Jarett Coke and Lilith's House of Snacks.
Jarett Coke.
And I'm Lilith!
And this is our House of Snacks.
And truly it is. This is our House of Snacks.
Yeah. Our house. In the snackle of the street.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
can walk away from a bit
We
sometimes.
both went for it, and I don't think either of us had anything.
We both went for it. Neither of us had anything, and it died on the vine immediately for both of us.
Yeah.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
And Wayne Gretzky was so true for saying that.
He's a piece of shit, right?
Is he?
Didn't we find out he was? I don't know. We don't need to go into this.
I don't know. An interesting thing happened last night. A lot of interesting things happened last night, but specifically, breaking news: John Cena's turned heel.
Yeah, that is true. I was trying to explain to my wife what a big deal this was this morning, and I don't think
Nobody seems to understand what a big deal that is.
I was so glad when I saw you posting about it, because I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not insane. This is crazy.
This is. I really do think that, like, people who understand the shape that America is in right now will understand that John Cena turning heel is what should really communicate to us that there's no going back. Like, America has turned a page.
This wouldn't have been possible in the America even of 1 year ago. And nobody's here claiming that the America of 1 year ago was good.
It wasn't that good.
But it hadn't crossed the Cena heel line.
Face John Cena is not a paragon of a world worth living. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But heel John Cena is a darker turn. It's really something
really
fucking bleak.
Distressing level.
Yeah. Folks, people who've been with us for a long time know that we used to host a podcast where we talked about John Cena a lot.
That's true.
And that podcast, I feel like we were covering the John Cena Bray Wyatt Firefly Funhouse match, which was very much a deconstruction of the man's career. And indeed had a lot of parallels with the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan's turning heel at Bash in the Beach, and joining the NWO. Which, I mean, it was honestly a very similar scene last night.
I didn't see. I saw still images. I haven't actually watched the clip.
Can I give you?
But I mean, based on the stills, I can see how it would be a very similar image.
Can I give you? And we can cut this down for time or whatever. Can I give you a quick play-by-play?
Yeah, give me the play-by-play.
Okay, so SmackDown, The Rock says, Cody, I want Cody's soul. Which was a really kind of ethereal, kind of general thing, and it didn't really make a whole lot of sense.
You know, that's a tradition in wrestling, though. That's Cody Rhodes' soul, Shawn Michaels' smile.
Yeah, exactly.
When wrestling's getting really serious, they move into the realm of the metaphysical.
Yeah. And so, Elimination Chamber happens. John Cena wins the Chamber match, which means that John Cena is going to be fighting Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania for the the Universal title, whichever.
Folks, we all know how Elimination Chamber works.
We all know how Elimination Chamber works.
It's this common knowledge that every person in the West really knows.
And if you've never heard of Elimination Chamber, you don't laugh about how it sounds like the bathroom.
Yeah, you don't do that.
You don't do that. And so John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber, and Cody comes out. And then The Rock comes out, and so all three of them, Cena's in the ring, Cody's in the ring, The Rock's in the ring, and The Rock's like, "What do you say? Do you want to give me your soul? I don't need your championship, but I just want you, I want you to be aligned with my interests. This is what's at stake." Cody,
It would seem from context clues obvious, but for people who are maybe lapsed wrestling fans, not caught up with WWE at the moment, I'm assuming The Rock is in a heel persona at this moment.
The Rock, they actually played a whole promo about how The Rock is like on the board of directors for TKO, which is the parent company of WWE. So like he is literally saying to Cody, "I want you to be my corporate champion."
Yeah, so he's in the corporate corporate champion mode. We may recall from our childhood.
Exactly, he is recruiting a new corporate champion. Is what's happening.
Okay,
and Cody says, "I already gave my soul to this ring, to this people. So Rock, you can go fuck yourself." And Diet Coke, those are the words he used.
Wow.
Cody said
in WWE
on a WWE pay-per-view. So that's exciting.
Times are changing.
Times are indeed changing. So The Rock looks miffed. Cody looks at John Cena, and John Cena's like, "Yeah, get him, bud." And they embrace for a hug. And while they're in the hug, The Rock looks at John Cena, and he gives he drags his finger over his neck. Like, get this asshole. Then John Cena kicks Cody Rhodes in the dick. And then The Rock and John Cena beat up Cody Rhodes. At one point, Cody starts bleeding because, he's a Rhodes boy and Rhodes boys bleed.
Yeah.
and The Rock wiped some of Cody's blood on a weight belt that The Rock had that said Cody's soul on it, and then whipped Cody Rhodes with the blood smeared belt that said Cody's soul. And have you ever thought about how if you say Cody's soul over and over and over again, it kind of starts to sound like Cody's hole?
Yeah, I also watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I have noticed that.
I want Cody's hole. I want Cody's hole.
He wants Cody's hole.
So that's wrestling chat. Sorry, folks, we've been gone for a little while, big wrestling thing had to happen last night. So
let me ask you this: Is this just nostalgia talking? Because that sounds kind of good to me.
It's
kind of
was
interesting.
Fucking peak, honestly. Diet Coke. The E's getting good again. I'm sorry to say it. I don't want to sound like a fucking shill or anything, but the E's getting good again. There's a reason why Aleister Black and Rusev are jumping ship. There's a reason why fucking Ricky Starks left. I know you were telling me about how glad you were they brought the Hulkster back into the fold. So you were really excited about that.
Sorry.
The Hulkster's
Sorry,
getting
just
booed
throw
like
it a
he
fucking-
should
I mean,
be.
yeah.
Also, an interesting fact, Elimination Chamber emanated from Toronto, Canada, and I fucking usually I mute the TV during the national anthem. I was over at my girlfriend's house, and I actually turned the volume up a little bit so that I could hear the chorus of boos.
That rocks.
Oh my god!
So proud of you, Toronto.
The entire. This was not a when it started. There was a little bit of boos, and then everybody was like, "All right, calm down, calm down." The whole song, everybody in the arena is booing. It was thunderous and beautiful.
Excellent work from Toronto.
Good job, Toronto. We salute you. Fuck America.
Yeah, fuck America. We can look forward to being surveilled by the DHS for that.
Whatever.
I
mean, you're probably right. What's left of the DHS, right? Because they fucking got rid of all the guys who knew what they were doing because they put their pronouns in bio.
Yeah, they can't. They don't even have anyone who can log into computer anymore.
No. So they're like, passwords. Is that a pronoun? Sounds like a pronoun to me.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Working in offices, not in the tech industry. Although I guess you encounter this with clients, perhaps.
Yes.
There's some older folk out there, and some younger folk who really just don't know fucking anything about computers, and who will be
so
like,
true.
"Look at me as if I am a fucking grand mage."
Yeah.
For giving them the simplest tips on how to navigate Windows.
Yeah. Like
it's a wild world out there.
Okay, I have to make this super generalized because I don't want to talk shit about my clients, but there've been a number of people who, like, when I will have to spend a lot of time explaining and re-explaining that, like, for an online login, your password is the same on your phone as it is on your computer. We reset the password on the computer to get into your bank. Oh, well, then what's the password on the phone? It's the same password because it's an online account.
A lot of people fundamentally don't understand.
No. But it's different because it's internet. On the phone.
Yeah.
What's the password on the phone?
They're a group of people who are living in a reality in their heads where memory is stored locally on all devices always.
Yes. And these same people, I would not say all of them, but a decent percentage of these same people think that anyone who is quote unquote diverse must not be competent at they must not have gotten their jobs for being competent at anything. They must have gotten it for their identity, their pronoun, their skin color, their gender, etc., and so on. Not like me who can't figure out what my fucking phone passcode is.
Yeah.
I got my job because I'm great at what I do.
You're like Bret Hart.
Yeah. The excellence in execution.
That's right.
Shall we hear that fucking snack description?
You know, I had something I wanted. I
yes.
told myself I got to make sure I get this in before the snack description.
Let's do it.
Well, the thing I'm leading to is I can no longer recall because I spent the whole first half of this fucking episode trying to keep my bastard cat from stepping on the keyboard and stopping the recording, which has been her singular goal this entire time. So we may as well start the snack description, I guess.
All right, let's stop the fuck of this charge. Let's go.
Yeah, Diet Coke and Lilith. It's Shaq here, and I'm so excited for you to try my Shaqualicious XL gummies. They're gummies that are shaped like my face. Please tear my cheeks from the bone with your teeth. Rip my forehead asunder under your jaw so that you can taste the peach, berry punch, and orange flavored gummies that I have created from my flesh. Rip me apart so I may fill you with nourishment. Also, watch inside the NBA on his new homie, SPNNAPC, starting in the 2020-25 season. Thanks, ladies.
Wow.
Thanks, Shaq.
Thank you, Shaq. That's so huge. Thank you, Shaq, both for. I mean, it was so crazy that yeah, we just got this email from Shaq, just with a
Shaq at
little audio
Shaq.com.
file. Yeah, Shaq at Shaq.com. That he just wanted us to have this little.
Wait,
snack
I'm sorry, it was actually
description.
Shaq.Shaq at Shaq. Shaq at Shaq.Shaq.
Do you think Shaq is a TLD?
Probably not, but if anyone should,
Yeah.
it might be him because he loves branding himself.
Yeah.
He's the pitchman for like 1 million different products.
Uh-huh.
I currently have a strained bicep that is causing me a lot of pain. I'm thinking about how I could use some Icy Hot, another of Shaq's products. I think Dot Shaq is like, it's a good one syllable, got a hard K sound at the end.
Yeah. I actually hold on.
Sense.
Let me just pull up the email real quick. Oh my god, Diet Coke, you're never gonna believe this.
What's that?
Shaq at Shaq.share.
Whoa! Share the singer or share the word?
Yeah, share the singer.
Okay.
she's got a TLD. Good for her.
Yeah, good for her.
I don't know why Shaq is using that for his personal website, but good for him. I don't know.
It makes sense to me because he's always talking about how he loves the movie Moonstruck.
Yeah.
Every time Shaq goes on TV, every interview on podcasts, he's always bringing up Moonstruck and how much he loves it.
Yeah, I can't shut up about it. Sometimes I wish he would. So these are big gummies, huh?
These are XL gummies, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Now, we've had these in our homes for a couple weeks now.
Some time. It's been a little while between recordings, as I'm sure some of you...
I have to confess.
Yep.
I tried them already.
Really?
I'm very excited for you to try these.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I'm excited to hype you through this.
Okay, so I got a pink, which I'm assuming that's peach. I got a more orangish one, which is orange, and then I got a blue one that's berry punch.
Yeah. It is a kind of a problem that the pink and the orange are a little hard to tell apart.
Yeah, that is definitely true. I definitely know that I have like the more pinkish one and then the more reddish one.
Yeah.
Like I can tell the difference, but they're hard.
Yeah.
Also, if I can just say, some of these faces are a grim mask of death.
They kind of range from like, well, first of all, which flavor do you want to try first?
I was gonna go the order on the package, so peach, berry punch, and then orange.
Sure. Okay, so I've got a peach in my hand. Okay. They kind of range from like what I would describe as an unkind depiction of Shaq.
Yeah.
To like a really kind of unsettling demonic situation. It kind of looks like
if Shaq joined Slipknot.
Sure. The one I'm looking at right now, I'm seeing if Morn from Deep Space Nine opened the Ark of the Covenant. It's kind of the vibe I'm getting off of this one.
That's brutal.
It's a tough time for
Shaq's having a difficult time. Shall we eat one? And these are, I will say, these are big fucking gummies.
They are big fucking gummies. These are like gummies that you could take down in a couple bites if you so chose, which is not a very common thing. I guess with worms, that's a possibility.
Yeah, but I mean, like these are in all dimensions too. Unlike the worms,
thick,
wide.
And now I will, of course, just as a reality of the fucking battle I've been fighting that is still ongoing, I will be trying Shaq gummies plus cat food. I think just no matter, or cat hair, no matter how hard I try.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready?
Yep. Ow! She gave me a little chomp. She's mad. She's escalating. I'm sucking on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
As I often do.
Big one.
Yeah. I'm sucking on this big one. And it's really good. It's really fucking good, I think, flavor wise.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me a lot of like obviously it doesn't have the tea taste, but it reminds me of a peach Snapple, which is a flavor that I really, really enjoy.
Yeah. And here's what so really good peach flavor, but I'm also like sitting here being like, okay, of the 3 listed flavors, I think peach is probably on my lowest priority.
Yeah.
So I'm like really excited to get into these other 2.
It is obviously taking a while to chew. These are big ass gummies.
Yeah, this is a tough.
Did you take a bite, or are you rocking down that? You you sucking down Shaq's whole head right now?
Oh, I did Shaq's big the entire head.
Same.
I have gotten it all the way down, but it took some doing.
I have not. It's a nice texture.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little too sticky, but not too much.
Yeah. I feel like I could get it out of my my teeth, without too much trouble. I'm not too worried about that. God, yeah, it's just a lot of it, which is, it's cool. I'm into it.
Yeah, the texture is sort of like a Welch's fruit snack almost, I would say, more than a traditional gummy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that works for the size.
This berry punch that I have in my hand, I would call it. This is punished Shaq.
Yeah.
This is a Shaq who has seen some shit. I'm ready for it. I'm gonna put it in my mouth.
Yeah, I've got the berry punch in my hand as well, and I'm gonna take a bite this time because it took me a while to get down that peach. In all honesty, a very blue raz tinted berry punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the other thing about these that I think has taken me a second to finish them on air.
Mm-hmm.
They're good to suck. You know,
they are good to suck.
They're a good sucker.
Yeah. Hot dog. Those are really good. I love that raspberry, but it's also got that kind of punchy kind of thing going on. It tastes like blue, which is a real thing, and you can't tell me otherwise. And fuck you if you're gonna try to tell me otherwise. Blue's a real flavor.
No, it really does though, because it tastes like what I remember the blue Kool-Aid squeezer things tasting like.
Yes, exactly.
It like really just strikes that exact right blue note. It's a high quality gum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Shaq, I gotta say that you're killing it with these gummies that we are tearing off of your face.
Yeah, this one I bit forehead down to the eyeballs, basically.
Oh yeah. This seems like a good amount. That's nice and bulbous. Right.
Now this orange one I'm holding in my hand
Mm-hmm.
got a little crush on a certain angle, so it is fully like a Shaq cone head, like from Coneheads.
That's the missed opportunity there. You know.
You ever see or read Dan Aykroyd say that the whole and only reason he invented the Coneheads, like the founding idea, was that he was high and watching TV and he thought it would be funny if their heads went all the way up to the screen, up to the top of the screen, and like. That's not an idea, but I can't fault him because it worked. They were huge.
Yeah. Like it's not an idea. You can say it's not an idea, and you're right in saying that it's not an idea, but if it turned into one at some point. Like
yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, it worked. You know?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna bite into Conehead Shaq.
I'm gonna bite into Orange Shaq.
The orange is good, but I will say a little muted compared to the other two.
Yes. It is. It's that very gummy orange where it's just like, this is very sweet. It's not very tart.
But it's not offensive either. Like, it's not too much. No. It's not over the line or anything. It's a solid gummy, which, you know, if 2 out of the 3 flavors are absolute bangers, which I think the first 2 are, and one's pretty solid, that's a great mix, by my opinion.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm not doing backflips for this. I do like how big the gummies are. Like, I think that's something very different. I don't know how much I need big gummies in my life, though. You know, if anything, I need more smaller gummies so that I can stop myself from eating too many of them.
What if there were very small gummies, like a millimeter in diameter?
You're talking about like a gummy powder at that point.
Well, okay, maybe millimeters too much, but like Dippin' Dot, like a little smaller, like just smaller than a Dippin' Dot.
I feel like it would be so hard to get the texture right at that scale.
It would, yeah. But you might invent a new texture also.
You're brilliant. I think I think we should absolutely be approaching you. We should be looking for that. That's yeah. I don't know what I was thinking questioning that.
And listen, it might be a failed experiment, but I think it's an experiment worth doing.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I agree. And I think that some of these tax dollars should go to that. I think we should. Yeah, I mean the government should be giving us money to make snacks and to figure out.
Definitely where we want to be right now is working for the federal government on the snack commission.
I'm saying we should be. There's a lot of things that I would fix with the government, and
in an ideal world,
line item,
truly
like
pushing
10,000 after I have dismantled the United States military and completely upended federal law enforcement, subsidy to local law enforcement, and vastly expanded the welfare state to provide essentially universal basic income for anybody who needs it, so that all citizens of the United States will be taken care of. After all of that,
FBI, I want UBI.
After all of this, I would say, and also give Diet Coke and Lilith a lab of snacks.
Designate the House of Snacks a government site. Give us a salary.
Yeah, give us a salary. Give us food scientists too, because admittedly, we don't have I don't know how to make candy.
We're the idea women.
Yeah, we're the idea women, and don't get me wrong, I want to get my hands dirty. I just don't have the expertise right now.
Yeah.
And watch what happens. I feel like we can make a better America through high fructose corn syrup.
I mean, the fact is there's a snack gap that's widening between America and the rest of the world.
This is completely
you see
true.
All these flavor innovations coming out of Japan. We're coming up on Easter, which is a big time for the Cadbury Corporation to really wave their asses at us and show how much their chocolate means to everybody. And we got to close that gap. We need a snack lab.
And this causes problems for us too. As our currently extant operation. Look at us. What are we eating? We're just eating the same fucking gummies that have been on shelves for ages, but they're big and they got Shaq's face on them.
Yeah.
That's not innovation.
No. It's not. And in fact, it's really sad.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't hate these gummies, but they're nothing to write home about. They're big, they're big standard gummies. These are pretty fucking standard gummies, honestly. They're not terrible, which is why I'm not trashing on them.
Sure.
But these are pretty standard gummies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought you were gonna rate them.
No. I was asking you if you knew what I meant.
I know what you mean. I do think I like them more than you, but I know what you mean.
Okay. Well, then let us do that. Let's fucking get into the fucking the rating. For me?
Yeah.
For me.
For you.
These are gonna be a would not buy.
It costs money, and where is he getting the money from? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I would just buy smaller cookies. Gummies, whatever.
You might even buy smaller cookies.
Yeah. But these are a would eat, but they're not like a emphatic would eat. They are I'll eat them if they're around. So
it's all right. It's okay. There's something to live for. Jesus told me so.
So that's where I'm at.
That's
Diet Coke,
good.
Where are you at?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a would buy and a would eat.
That is fascinating to me.
I'll tell you.
You're walking into the fucking 7-Eleven and you're saying,
Give me the Shaqs.
Give me the Shaqualicious.
Let me tell you this, Lilith. I'm gonna add on to my confession for earlier.
Okay.
I finished a bag of these already and bought another
Holy
one for the
shit!
show. It's not that I think they're exceptional. I think it's just like that perfectly lined up, like this berry punch they call it, and yet it is exactly what I want from a blue raz gummy. It is just like lined up perfectly. You know, it's getting the special graphic when you nail the button prompt that correct in the video game. It is that blue raspberry that I want, and it's big and I can suck on it, which you know I love. So it's just they're I think a really reliable gummy. Let's put it that way.
So here's what I'll say about that to kind of back you up a little bit. I said, these are just kind of your down the middle kind of gummies that are pretty unremarkable. However, those are vanishingly rare in our store shelves these days.
True.
We don't have that much of those. I can't think of, other than like the closest thing that I can think of for these, which it's a different product, and I wouldn't really want it, but like a Welch's Fruit Snacks is pretty close to this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love a Welch's Fruit Snack.
But that's not a 7-Eleven. That's a fucking grocery store aisle, because those are going in your lunches. This is a different product class.
This is when you're dare I say, a little bit, you're hanging out with Dan Aykroyd inventing the cone heads, and you're stumbling on into 7-Eleven, and you want a gummy ass gummy.
Oh, because you're very high at the time. Okay. Yeah, sure.
You're gonna reach for the Shacks, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I, due to my consumption habits, not really wanting a down the road gummy, I'm usually going for a sour gummy if I'm in that same.
Well, sure. I do wish. Actually, there are Sour Shack gummies. I actually did try those as well, so that I could talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were really good.
Okay, I'm interested.
We should get the Sour Shacks. Maybe not for a full episode, but for a follow up.
Yeah, Shower Shack follow up. That was a fucking tongue twister to get through. I'm sorry, everybody.
But thank God we got through it. To the Shower Shack. Hello. It seems like we're kind of getting to that point in the show. I wasn't going to say that. I was going to be a little more polite. Yeah. But I'm glad you said it.
Yeah. How do you feel about John Cena's heel turn?
Who's that?
You don't know who John Cena is?
I don't. I'm not familiar with the name.
You know Snack John Cena?
Snack John Cena, yes. A lot of annoying memes about how you can't snack him. Kind of tired, but people still do them a lot for some reason. Don't really understand the appeal, but yes, that's a real issue in the snack dimension.
So, but he's like, does he also does he visit kids with pixie dust lung in the snack dimension?
Well, he visits kid with illnesses. Pixie dust lung is kind of it'll get you quick, You don't really go to the hospital for pixie dust lungs. Okay. But he's like a goody two shoes kind of guy. He's a professional snack wrestler.
What if he turned evil?
Well, that would be remarkable. I guess he did that a little bit when he was very early on starting out. Right. Never did a big kind of we call it a leak turn. That's stupid. That's what we call it. It's LEEH. It's heel backwards, and that's what it's called when you turn bad in wrestling in the snack dimension. And I stand by that statement.
Is it like, hey, just because I'm getting the craving to do something, I want to ask about some snack dimension customs. Is it generally considered polite to push someone down a flight of stairs in the snack dimension?
Oh yes, that's like that's what you do to your family when you're like leaving at the end of a gathering. You get at the top of the stairs and push each other down.
Well, here we go. All right, can you outro the show now?
Well, goodbye, ghosts and ghoulies. The House of Snacks is closed yet again. We'll snack you later.
For more from the House of Snacks, visit patreon.com/House of Snacks. That's patreon.com/House of SNAX.